Hey, look at that. Looks like we're
Oh,
live.
wow. Yes.
Yeah.
You sure
I
about
still
that?
don't see this. Yeah, there's the chat.
Oh, here we go. Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right. We're gonna give it a
Wow.
minute, make sure that everything's showing. Uh I know that
You recording?
sometimes. Go ahead, Dominic.
Uh, are we there yet?
Yeah, I think we're there. We're actually
Oh, okay.
early.
Let's go.
Yeah, we're 2 minutes early. Look at that. We're good.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay.
All right, well, listen, we have a great show lined up tonight. We have a couple of topics of discussion after we talk about the contest for the final episode of the USDS live show. Uh, Chris couldn't make it tonight, so Bud's going to fill in as co-host. Thank you, Bud, as always.
Yep.
We got two Captain Clutches here. We got Dominic and Bud. So let's get the show started. And good evening, United States Drone Society. How's everybody doing tonight? Hey, Dominic. Hey, Bud. How you guys doing?
Doing good.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
all right. Yeah, we're doing well.
Yeah, and I see Ollie Grace is in the chat, OG. You're always welcome to join, too. The link's pinned in the chat.
Yep.
Yeah, hope you're
Love your
doing
work.
good. Yeah. So, how you guys' week's been? You guys have a busy week?
Yep.
Bad weather.
Yeah, same here. Crappy weather. I went over to Waypoint New England's house today and couldn't really fly because the wind was too strong. Gust of 50 plus, just not good weather to fly. But we had a good time. We had to struggle through watching the Patriots play because listen, the Dolphins looked like they were playing against fish. So I mean, just dead in the water. So it is what it is.
Just remember, you can't root for the team, right, Dom?
Yes. Root
I'm
means
still
something
not
different in
ashamed of my
Australia.
hat.
You have
Okay.
to support. You have to support a team in Australia. You can't root for them.
Yeah.
Inside joke, everybody.
Yeah. So Dominic, what did you do this week?
Well, on Friday, I was told of something and I received a certificate on my phone, which I will get ready for you.
Yeah, Brian.
And there it is. I
Oh,
am now a remote pilot in Australia. There you
congratulations,
go.
Dominic. Congratulations.
Remote pilot.
Hey, you know what that means? That means
What?
that you can now enjoy.
Yeah, merch shop money.
Now you can make merch shop money.
Yep.
There you go. I don't know if you recall, but a few months back you had given me some access so I could make some edits to your website, and I noticed
Yep.
recently you've been active because I got notified that there was some activity over there, making some
Mm.
new stuff.
Yep.
All right, well, let's get in and say hi to the chat before we continue on with the show. And I see Jody was in the house, maybe first, possibly, but glad to have you here. And Jackie's in the house. How you doing, Jackie? Glad to have you here. And Ron's in the house. How you doing, Ron? Glad to have you here. And Dawn, how you doing, Dawn? I actually have a video tonight to share. Dawn sent me a video 2 weeks ago when we were talking about focal length, and I think he did a really good job explaining it. So as a follow up, I asked him if I could show it. It was a quick video he made for me, so no high production value or anything like that. But I think he did a great job explaining it, and I think that everybody could find it useful. So we'll show that later on today, and I appreciate him sharing that and sending it. And Jeff's place, he'll be joining us for open chat tonight. Hey, doing, Jeff? Glad to have you here. And my wife, my number one supporter.
Ashley.
She was cold today. That wind was something else.
Oh,
Angie's in the house. How you doing, Angie? Glad to have you here. And Bud Bieber's in the house. He's our co-host tonight. And also, he created a Community Corner again. Thank you so much, Bud.
I'm here.
And Warren's in the house. How you doing, Warren? Glad to have you here. And Jim is with us. He'll be joining us for open chat. How you doing, Jim? Yes, if you want to join the open chat panel, the link is pinned in the chat, so you can find it there. I know it wasn't at the time, but it is now. There you go. And Jeff Norman's in the house. He'll be joining us for open chat. How you doing, Jeff? And Jeff has some interesting research he did over the past week and a half or so. He'll talk about that tonight.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah, Waypoint, New England. Brian's in the house. How you doing, Brian?
Brian.
I'm glad you know everybody's name.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
it took a lot of time. Shooter FTV, Ken, how you doing? Glad. Oh, thank you, Brian, so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, merch shop money.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it. Yeah, Ken's in the house. He'll be joining us for open chat. I'm always worried I'm going to miss somebody. Benjamin's in the house. How you doing, Ben? Glad to have you here. He had fun today. He was actually raking Brian's leaves in his yard and then jumping in them and burying himself in them, like sitting in them. Yeah. Hey, listen, that's great times. I don't see enough kids doing that. And no one gave him the idea. He went and did it all on his own. So kudos. He was exploring the world today. Yeah. John Olson's in the house. How you doing, John? Glad to have you here. And OG. How you doing, OG? Glad to have you here. Hey, if you can, hop on for open chat tonight. Haven't talked to you in a while. Hope you're doing all right. If you can, no pressure. And of course, trust the old Nightbot. Thank you, Nightbot.
Pressure.
Hello, Nightbot.
And Lisa's in the house. How you doing, Lisa? Glad to have you here.
Lisa.
And Jeffrey's in the house. How you doing, Jeffrey? Glad to have you here.
Yeah, got a
Hey,
pretty
Jason
good.
is in the house. How you doing, Jason? Glad to have you here. Hey, listen, this is a special moment because Jason loves he's live streams Fortnite and all that. So it's nice to see him come over to this side of the world. Glad to have you here. Make sure we're not missing anybody. Well, there's a lot of people here.
Hey, Ted's in the group.
Oh, yeah.
Nima. Hey, Ted.
Thank you again, Brian. I really do appreciate that. I really do. Oh, and Steve Janess is in the house. How you doing, Steve? Glad to have you here. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. And there he is. Ted's in the house. How you doing, Ted? Before the show started, I was actually talking about your latest video. Ted's latest video was
Awesome.
really good. It struck a chord with me. It actually brought up a
Definitely.
memory from my younger days. So I implore you to go check out the video. It really has a lot of meaning.
Hmm.
I'm sure it'll.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it was great.
It was just magic.
And I think we have everybody. Yeah, there we go. All right, thanks everybody for being here tonight. I appreciate it. Before we continue on in the conversation, we'll go show in community corner now. Thank you very much, Bud, for preparing it.
My error. I never changed the date.
Yeah, it's all good. Ollie Grayson joined us. Actually, glad to have you here. Thank you so much. I meant to say something too. I saw. What was it? Who was it? Sorry, let me just look back here at the chat. Oh, someone said something. I think I missed it. I'm not sure. I'll look for it after. But I find it interesting tonight. One of the topics of discussion is going to be how you're inspired by other people. And before we get into it, let's bring in our open chat. Make sure we've got everybody here. Let me see. I think we got OG joining us, and I think that's everybody. There we go.
Yeah, Ollie's having a little bit of issues. Hi.
Yeah.
Someone's not here.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
like we got everybody
All
here,
right.
right? I'm not missing anybody.
There's one on the bottom. That's
Ollie's
no one's
Ollie's
there.
getting there.
Oh, Ollie's here. I
Ollie's
think it's
having trouble.
his audio is on, just
Sky
not his
control.
camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep, can hear you.
Yes.
How you doing, brother?
Yeah.
Aloha.
I can't hear you guys.
Yeah, he can't hear us.
I think I'm
Sky
doing
control?
something wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't hear anything.
Mm.
You gotta take them off, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear something like in the background there too.
Damn it.
All right. All right. So what we'll do is I'll put him out back right now until we can get it figured out. I think the people that are in the back that have the offstage feed can still hear him. So hopefully they get that
Yep.
audio solved.
Yeah.
You gotta mute the YouTube.
Who?
Yeah.
Whoever has
Oh,
YouTube
oh,
on a
shit.
different browser tab, gotta mute it.
Oh, you're okay. So that's Ollie.
There he
Ollie's
is.
in the back.
I'm texting him to turn it off.
Yeah, that's Ollie.
I'm texting him, but
Yeah, I muted his microphone. I muted his microphone for now, so until we get it straightened out. Yeah. Well, run into issues with EV Mux. Hopefully we get it solved. He's been on here before, so that worked good. But yeah, how's everybody's week been? Everybody have a good week?
yeah.
Yeah,
Been great.
not for
Good
not
to
for
get by a
drone
little
flying,
bit.
not for drone flying, but yeah, good week.
Yeah. I see Captain Ray's in the
Yeah.
house. How you doing, Captain Ray? Glad to have you here.
Raise it.
So okay,
For you guys out east, you got snow a couple days ago. I apologize for sending that your
Not
way.
here.
Yeah, not here.
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah, there we go. Oh, looks like we got his video here. Let me add him to the scene now.
In fact, Thursday we had our first
Oh,
significant
man,
rainfall for
Ollie.
the past 2 months.
Have you
Aloha.
Settings.
There's sky control coming up.
There he is.
Local, full screen, dark mode. I have no idea.
Can you hear us, Ollie?
I have no idea.
No, he
Well,
can't
We
hear
can
us.
hear and
yeah.
see you, but we can't. I guess you can't hear us.
All right. Well, we can see him. I don't know if he can hear us, but we can hear him.
In here.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Turn up your volume, Ollie.
Yep. This way.
All right. Well, I put his microphone on mute for now.
Got
We'll
it.
figure that out and we'll go. So to start, before we get into all the other topics of discussion, we're going to talk about the final episode. Yeah, no worries, Chris, man. I didn't. I just let everyone know you weren't able to join us tonight. If you want to mention in the chat about what's going on or anything, I left it up to you. So
I'm getting
yeah,
an echo.
thanks for joining in the chat. But yeah, so we have two more episodes of the USDS live show. So basically, we're going to start 2025 with a brand new show, something different, something brand new. Hopefully, something that'll get me inspired and create, create again, something different. And for the last episode, I want to host a contest. And as I mentioned, and probably most people here know, I'm going to be getting a package from DJI, their corporate Christmas gift. And whatever is in there is going to determine what the prizes are. So if we have the contest during the last episode and I haven't received the package from DJI, I really don't want to say what the prizes are because I won't know. So when we get into that, hopefully I'll have it by then and we can decide what the prizes are. But we'll figure out a system either way, so that way the winners will get prizes, and it'll be from that Christmas package from DJI. So that'll be great. So the idea now for the contest is this: the whole idea behind the United States Drone Society was, to everybody feeling inspired by everyone else. The way we went out and created our content, and just how everybody interacted with other people. So I think that a fitting contest for the final show should be, a way to showcase who's inspired you in the group. So I think that the contest is going to be a tribute video. You're going to be able to create a short tribute video, 3 minutes or less, and it's going to be dedicated to the people in the drone community who've inspired you the most. They don't have to be people in the United States Drone Society group, just people in the drone community who've inspired you most. You have 3 minutes. I'll list all the official rules for it. You'll have a specific place to submit your entry. And as far as the prizes go, like I said, the prizes are
Can
going
you
to
hear
be.
us yet, Ollie?
I'm sorry, what was that, Jim? What'd you say?
Oh, I thought Ollie. No. Oh, never mind.
Okay, I can't hear him. If he's ready to come in,
Yeah.
just let me know. And or Dominic, you could pull him in
Not
if he's
yet.
ready too. I can't hear him in the back.
Okay.
So yeah, like I said, hopefully I'll get that DJI Christmas package in ahead of time so we can figure out what the prizes are going to be. But I think this is going to be a perfect opportunity for people to, it says OnlyFans. Yeah. I think it's going to be a great way. What does that say, Jeff?
Ollie, do you see this?
I think he's gone now.
Yeah, I think he's gone
He
too.
just basically said he's going to watch it in the chat.
Yeah, that's all
Yeah,
good. Thanks for trying, though,
that's
Ollie.
too
I
bad.
appreciate it, brother. So,
It
yeah,
comes
I
and
think this is
goes.
a good and fitting way to end the USDS show is to go out, recognizing the people in the community who've inspired you most. So what do you guys think? What are your thoughts?
I
Sounds
think that
All
good.
these guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds good.
Wow, that's it. We don't have more thoughts than that. Come on, someone's gotta have a better thought
Well,
than
this is a
that.
I think it
contest. We
sounds
can't
good.
we can't say it
Personally.
now. We got to
Yeah,
say it
we
at the
we,
Oh,
we
contest.
can't discuss that because if
Come
we're
on,
talking
guys.
about it, we're giving away.
I know.
We'd be giving away
You got to give me time to write the
ideas.
speech.
My thought is that
Yeah.
it's a great contest.
yeah,
Yes, it is a great idea. Yes,
yeah, and
I don't want to give
I
too
know
much away.
Chris just said this. He says,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to see it go, and
Good
it's
idea.
it gets to the point where I've done it. We've done this now for 2 years. For 2 years, 100 episodes, and that's a lot of work has gone into the show. I'd like to think that the amount of work that's gone into creating this show has been substantial. I feel like that it's one of the most heavily produced drone shows on YouTube, and I think that's says a lot. I mean, it just the amount of people that came together and just inspired each other really make a statement here.
Well,
But
you've
it's
grown the channel immensely over those 2 years.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, exactly. And that's why I don't want the get-togethers on Sunday and the being inspired by each other is just that. I want that to stay the same. But the problem is doing I'm bored doing the USDS show.
Hello, Lisa.
I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I'm losing more and more interest in doing that. I need something new. I need a way to create something new. And so,
You need
it'll
to
be
root
interesting to
for
see
a
where it
team.
goes. Yeah.
Gotta get
Yeah.
creative.
Lisa. Hello, Lisa.
Oh, is Alex Escardo in the house? Yeah. How you doing, Nana's
Yep.
Attic? How you doing?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it has its ups and downs. I want to be inspired again. I want to be inspired with you guys, and giving me something new to create that really just gets me going and gets me, you know, uh, yeah. I think it'll be good. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
change is good.
Yeah. Hi, Lisa. How you doing?
Good.
I'm doing good.
I actually have a video tonight to share.
All right.
On oh, someone's got
Someone's
the.
That's
online.
her.
Yeah, that's
We're-
Lisa.
That's me. Let me close down this
I
again
think
real
she did a
quick.
really good
Yep.
job explaining it. So yep, flying high in
That
Florida.
better?
How you doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Glad to have you here.
I was trying to follow the chat and all that, but every time I do that, I mess it up.
See, now we got the full Brady Bunch thing going on here.
Yeah, now we got the full Brady Bunch thing.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah,
Alice,
we're gonna throw a wrench in there now.
Hollywood Squares.
Yeah. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to share a video. 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago during the show, we were discussing focal
Uh-oh.
length.
I'm in center.
It was a topic that was new to me, and I wanted to learn about it, and I wanted to learn about it with you. And after the show, Don Mudball had created a real quick explanation video and sent it to me, and it really helped me to understand the difference in what we were talking about. So I'm going to share that tonight so we can all see and let me know what you think.
Okay. Okay, Paul, this is going to be just as the way I understand focal length. And I made a couple animations here to kind of show the concepts in a simple way.
And by the way, Don, I love your poster
let's
back
stop
there,
this
The
here.
Evil Dead. Great poster.
Okay. We're starting off with the body of the camera. And inside that camera, as you know, you've got your film sensor and your film plane, your sensor plane. That's that.
He sent me
Just
this,
where
by
the
the way,
sensor
like
is.
right after the show.
Your lens is
I did
designed
this
to
that
bring the
quick.
light in
Crazy.
from your scene. So we've got me on a train here, and the light comes in there and hits the sensor. Now at a certain point inside the lens, you're going to have the light flip upside down. That's the point of convergence. It's just like in your eyeball. You probably have seen in health class that you're actually seeing things upside down in your eye, and your brain flips it back the right way. This is kind of the same thing. So the cone of light comes in from your scene,
Yeah.
and it crosses and flips the image around. And where those two lines cross is called your point of convergence.
You can
Okay? And
or it might be
that point of convergence, the distance between your point of convergence, the distance from your point of convergence to the film plane is your focal length. So 24 millimeters, 70 millimeters, that moves. Now, since we're only looking at the light hitting the sensor,
Be right
we
back,
treat
guys.
those edges as kind of fixed to kind of show you how that changes the framing of your shot. And let me get this to play here, and I should tighten it down. There we go. So you see how that goes down as you move that focal point away from the film plane. Those lines they have to become, since the light rays go straight, the picture has to go smaller. The framing has to go tighter. And so That's how that works. And I think I've got one in here where there it is. You can see the result on an image up above. So there's say 70 millimeters and widen it back out to say 24. And that is why your image zooms in. It's because that point of convergence is moving and shifting the light rays. Now, they measure the lens, the millimeters of whatever the focal length of the lens is. They measure that when they're focused at infinity. And I know last night you guys were talking about the depth of field, and that is kind of unrelated to focal length. So focal length is measured when you're focused at infinity, and that's when you're focused at infinity, it focuses out to a certain distance where you come in sharp, and anything past that to infinity is now sharp. And that distance is different for every lens. And so, say you have a lens that is focused at infinity and super sharp at 5 feet. That means everything 5 feet out is going to be sharp. That's why you have action cams. They have a very tight depth of field. At infinity, it's very, very close where everything is sharp. So when you're focused at infinity on, say, a GoPro, it is very close in to the camera. That doesn't change its focal length. The focal length is still the same. It's just they've manufactured the optics to get you a closer in focus. That way you can get people's faces. Plus you have stuff out there you don't have to worry about things going out of focus. And a lot of cameras with smaller apertures will bring in that focus plane where your infinity is going to come in closer to the camera. And that has to do with circles of confusion and all kinds of crazy stuff. If you open up a photography book, they'll talk about it, and it gets above my head. But I'll let that go to voicemail. So we're going to bring this
Did you get
in.
his video
So
going
as
yet?
you start focusing your lens, instead of on infinity, you want to bring that focus in closer to yourself. So that focus plane, the subject that you're focusing on, gets closer to the camera. You'll see that you're no longer
Okay,
focused
cool.
to infinity. It comes back closer and
Right back
closer
again.
to lens, and your depth of field, where everything is in focus, gets far narrower. And your depth of field from your subject where you're focused on, your depth of field is usually about 1/3 in focus in front of the camera and 2/3 of the focus behind the camera. And so you'll usually drop your focus in front of your focal plane a little bit faster. And so you can see there, as you move that focus out to the distance, it goes back to infinity. I've got a couple of those. And I think that is all I showed. Is there anything I forgot? Oh yeah, if you'll notice, as you're changing the focus, it is altering the focal length slightly when you change those optics and you bring your focus in and out from infinity and coming back. You'll notice that little yellow dot where the convergence is, you're moving that convergence point a little bit, and those lines, the framing of the shot moves in and out just a bit. And that on lenses
He
is
still
called
didn't get
breathing,
that video
and
going?
it is more pronounced on some lenses than others. Some lenses, they have put a lot of work in to keep that breathing at a minimum, and so it doesn't have any direct relationship to the focal length, but it can alter that focal length. And I think that covers everything I
That's pretty
know about
extensive.
it.
Are you
See you later.
guys seeing a video? Because I'm not.
Yeah. So, Don, thank you so much for making
Yeah.
that for me. I have to say though, you sent that to me like
Yep.
immediately after the show was over. So it's like you had that on deck. It's like you had that waiting for someone to have this discussion. You were like, you know what, I'm ready for it when it
You
happens. That
finally
was
gave me
really
the
cool.
opportunity.
Yeah. So, but thank you. That was great.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
great
Can
video,
I
man.
ask my stupid question?
Yep.
All right. So, I fly Mavic drones. I fly in auto.
Auto what?
Auto everything.
Okay.
Normal
So
sport.
what do I mean, I kind of understood what he was saying back in my photography days, back in the 70s when things were different. Um,
Very.
but with flying my drone, this is stuff I really don't have to worry about, correct?
That's true because you're not close enough to anything to make it really matter. I
Exactly.
mean, all the stuff he was talking about really
Right.
have to do with
Right.
a camera that zooms
Okay.
like this, because pretty much everything's going to be in focus, especially
I
with
didn't
most
see that video,
drones.
so I don't know what you guys are talking about.
All right. We
Well,
we're talking. Someone Don made a video about focal length, and basically, my contention is you don't have to worry about that because, well, you don't have to worry about what's going to be in focus because pretty much when you fly a drone, everything is in focus
Yeah.
because it's like a point and shoot camera or a GoPro.
okay.
Everything's
Thank
in
you.
focus, so don't really worry about it.
Yeah. A
Yeah,
lot of
and
times,
Bud's from back in the '70s, so nothing's in focus anymore anyway.
I didn't even know they had photography back in the 70s.
Mhm.
Really?
Now, but I mean, with a drone, you're really not going to. A lot of times, you're not even going to be close enough to have that even make a difference.
It doesn't make a
I was
difference.
gonna say, yeah.
Literally 99%
Well,
of the time,
it
and I fly right up to things all the time. It doesn't make any
this
difference.
close.
I well, no, I don't. I'm
Well,
not an
That's
FPV dude.
that's your Avata, so that's
Well,
kind of different in a way. But
Yeah,
and
it's different.
interestingly enough, I think that on one aspect you're right, but I think in another aspect it does matter because it was drones that got me interested in the topic, and I'll explain. So
You can still see back
I was
footage.
looking at the cameras like we talk about the Mavic 3, the different versions of it, where you got the Mavic 3 Classic with the one lens,
Right.
the OG Mavic, which has the regular camera, and then the zoom lens, right? Well,
Not a zoom lens.
those telephoto lens have a different focal point, right? And that's what got me wondering because I know that using the different focal lengths will create um, different
Blur
ways to
zones.
view a certain area. Like if you, I don't really know the way to explain what I'm saying, but
It's what you're talking about
Field of view.
is perspective and parallax.
yes, yes,
When you if you are shooting something and it's if the person takes up the same amount of space or the pole or the house, when you're shooting with a telephoto lens, then the background will be much narrower because you're looking at it through a tube and you're adjusting your distance. That's what you mean. Also, you made a comment just now that a lot of people do, and everyone should know this. Zoom and telephoto are not synonyms. Zoom means this lens goes from 21
Adjusts.
millimeters, 17 millimeters, really wide, to 50 millimeters. That's what zoom means.
yep.
Telephoto means something is far away and you can see it. It could be a telephoto zoom or a telephoto, what now is called a prime lens. When I first started shooting, it was just
Fixed.
called a fixed focal length.
Fixed. Yep.
But anyway, telephoto and zoom, and especially in this drone community that are not really photographers, a lot of guys, they're just learning photography. They are absolutely not synonyms at all. Zoom is something that changes its focal length. And I'm not talking about on your controller with a DJI drone, because no
Digital.
DJI drone that you guys have has zoom. The
It's all
Mavic
digital.
2 Pro, Mavic 2 Zoom had a real zoom, an optical focal length, and the Inspires have
What about the
actual zoom
Phantom?
length.
Didn't the Phantom have a mechanical shutter also on there?
I thought the
no,
Phantoms all had GoPros on them. I never had a Phantom. So
Phantom 1 did.
the Phantom. I had a Phantom 2, and that had a GoPro on it.
okay, and then
But
you zooming on a DJI drone is just a digital crop, and frankly, it looks
Right.
like crap. So
It does.
the Mavic 3 Pro has 3 fixed focal length lenses. Not one of them are zooms, but on the controller you can go from 24 millimeters to 70 millimeters. But you want to see something look really bad? Stop at 69 millimeters and look how bad it is. Because all you're doing is taking that image from that 24 millimeter sensor and using less and less and less of it until, oh, let's go to a different camera. So you can zoom on a DJI remote, but it looks like crap. My suggestion is shoot just like on a cell phone. Do not go in between. It looks
Any
like
phone,
garbage. Do it
any
later in
phone
post
without a zoom.
production. Only
Yep.
shoot at 1 times,
Crop and
3
post.
times, and 7 times. And those are actually on the Mavic 3 Pro, 24 millimeter equivalent, 70 millimeter equivalent, and 166 millimeter equivalent. Equivalent meaning if you had a film camera or a full frame digital camera, an actual lens with glass, it's 166 millimeters long. That's really what it is. But
I like what Brian just said. He says episode 98 is not the time to confuse me.
Yeah.
don't zoom.
At least he
Slug
waited.
yourself
At
out.
least he waited 97
No, and
episodes.
I agree with you. You know, when I say zoom and telephoto, I realize there's a difference. It just
Entirely.
yeah, it just for lack of a better term, I guess, whatever.
Now, telephoto, that's
Yeah.
what it is. And I'm not
I just like
yelling
the
at you.
look that it gives. So, like, for instance,
Yeah.
let's say you have like an island with a building on it, and then in the backdrop, there's a body of water and then a bunch of mountains. And when you use that telephoto lens, when I say zoomed in, I don't mean it's actually zoomed in. I just mean that a telephoto lens kind of brings you into that area out there.
Right.
So when I say zoom, that's what I mean. I know we're not literally talking like zoom, like changing the
The longer the telephoto lens, the more it compresses the apparent distance between your subject in the foreground and the background.
and I
Because
love the look that it gives.
Yes.
That look
Well
is
said.
incredible.
Well
And
said.
that's called parallax. When you rotate around something and do an orbit with a longer lens, it makes that whole background move much more abruptly because you're only seeing a small sliver of the background.
Yeah.
So that's parallax is what you like. That's really what it is.
I wake up in a parallax. I gotta say, I actually understand you, Jeff, and that's scary.
Oh,
I've
Brian.
been teaching on one way or another for over 40 years, so I hope you do, and I'm glad you do. So
I actually have it's digital, but a bunch of different lenses. Now I guess I got to go out and play with it.
Well, and that's exactly
Yeah.
why I brought up the
We all
topic
do.
because it was
Yeah.
something I wanted to learn about, and I figured that not only did I learn more about it, but even people who probably didn't think they would learn more about it, like Bud, learned something out of it.
Yeah.
So, you know, it worked
But
great.
also,
That's
we're at a
great.
time. We're at a time right now. Thankfully, I mean, I've shot with film cameras for years, and now that we're at a point where everything's digital, so you can take a picture, look at it, and say, "Well, let me try some other setting," and then you try that, and you can look at it right away instead of
Yeah.
waiting like a week and a half or 2 weeks if you don't have your own your own darkroom.
Right.
So right now, we're just so lucky that we're at that point.
we are.
Agreed.
I just shot a roll of film last week, and I waited for it to come back. That thing that I used to do
Yep.
40 years ago.
Yep.
Did you have to go to
The Kodak,
the photo hut in the parking lot?
the Kodak like hut thing where you would just drop it
Yeah.
off in an envelope.
Yeah. Was
Well,
always
no,
a
I
real
went.
skill
There's
in
only
there,
a
though.
few places around here that actually develop for you. Obviously, you want to keep them in digital format because it's easier to share. So you want a place that develops it, don't even need to print it, but gives you back your negatives so you
Yeah,
can
that's-
scan them.
Yeah.
Most of the places scan it at a relatively modest dots per inch, and I can scan it much finer. So I can
I,
make.
I used to do CVS.
Hey, Brad,
too.
how you doing?
Put it in
Playing
the
around,
envelope
guys.
and drop it into CVS.
You can still do that with any roll of film. They just will not give you back your negatives.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Bill was trying to say
That
something right
sucks.
there. What did you want to add, Bill? Bill?
His screen's
Bill
frozen
went
now.
What?
Oh, I think Bill was trying to say something, but maybe his
No, I'm
screen.
fine. I'm fine.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you want me to talk
Wait a
about
minute,
the
did
test I did with Xavier?
Down there.
Yeah. Hold on. Bill, did
No,
you have
I'm
something you
fine.
wanted to add?
Don't know if he heard you.
Bill?
I don't think he heard you.
No.
He's on a delay.
For
Oh,
some reason,
okay.
my mic is working late.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Your mic's working. Okay. So, yeah, Jeff, you did some testing this past week. Why don't you tell us what's going on with that?
A good friend of mine, Xavier Arthur, is into tech. He reviews things. Xavier Arthur Tech on YouTube, and he started the New York City 5 Boroughs Drone Meetup group. And we discussed photography. And one of the things he said was, let's make a comparison of the Mavic 3 Classic lens, whether it's on the Mavic 3 Classic or the original or the Pro, because it's all the same thing. It's a 4/3 inch sensor. Again, another misused term. It's not micro four thirds. Micro four thirds is a whole system of cameras and lenses that you can interchange any body, any lens, and the sensor size is the same thing. So he wanted to compare the 4/3 inch sensor, which is 20 megabytes max, 20 maximum, to the eight uh, the eight mega 8,000 by 6,000 sensor on the Mini 4 Pro. Now, the Mini 4 Pro has a sensor that DJI calls 1/1/3 of an inch. That's just stupid math. Let's make it easy. 0.769 inches as opposed to 4/3, which is 1.3333 inches. So, in one way, that should look better. However, it's really a 20 megapixel sensor on the bigger one, and it's a 48 megapixel sensor. So what does that mean? Is the Mini 4 Pro actually better? The Mini 4 Pro is sharper. You can blow it up bigger. Now they both have different what we call color science. So, but you can switch that in a second. Anyone with a minimal of experience can change a color just by moving a slider. But the Mini 4 Pro has a sharper image than the quote unquote Hasselblad lens on the Mavic 3 series. However, if you go all the way to the edges are not as sharp on the Mini 4 Pro as they are on the Mavic. So, 20 megapixels as opposed to a true 48 megapixel sensor. That's what we did, and we did some testing. I don't have any of the images with me, and I could share them next week. But
Yeah, it looks like Bud has a question for you.
So do I. Yeah.
What would make the images on the edges not be as sharp? Any idea?
because you have a smaller physical lens in front of it. And remember, all the lenses are manufactured, whether they're glass like DJI used to be and every camera is, or Autel also is, or every DJI lens since the Mavic 3 is a poly composite. It's basically a plastic lens. However they manufacture it, when you buy a camera today in a camera store that comes with a lens, they're called kit lenses, and they're not as sharp to the edges because they want to sell a system for a certain price. And to meet that price, they go, throw these things in there and it'll do the job. But how you test it and stress it is go to the edge and see if it's really sharp at the edge. And that's the reason why the Mini 4 Pro is absolutely in the middle, 90% sharper.
Yep.
But if you go all the way to the edge, which most of us don't, if you're a professional, you generally shoot further back and then crop in later. It's going to be sharper,
And I have
the color's different.
I have to stop and say I haven't really seen this before.
Have you actually pixel peeped and looked? Okay.
Gary put a mad face. I've never seen Gary put a mad face. What's going on here?
Uh-oh.
What happened?
Because the likes.
Ooh, what?
Okay.
Yeah, Gary put a mad face. I've never seen Gary put a mad face down there.
Huh?
I have a question for Ken. I have a question for Norm, though.
Jeff,
You were talking the 20 megapixel versus the 48?
the Mini 4 Pro has an actual 48 megapixel sensor.
I thought that was a quad bear interpolated.
It is not. The
It's not.
Mini 2, for instance, and the Air 2 was a 12 megapixel sensor, and they
Times 4. Quad bear.
and they shoot 4 times in succession, so it acts like a 48 megapixel, but basically they're going up. The Mini 4 Pro actually is a 48 megapixel sensor, and to get 12
For real?
megapixel images, you're actually binning down.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a really.
I wasn't aware it
incredible-
was a true 48.
It is an absolute. In fact, if you go to DJI's spec page, which I have conveniently pulled up, it will tell you it is.
He had it ready to go before the show started. Don't let him kid you.
I did. Of course, so I have this information.
He knew I was going to ask that question.
Right. It is
Well, it's a legit question because
8,064 pixels by 6,048 pixels. Do the math. That's 48.
Well, because the first thing that you think of, it's like, okay, you got a 20 megapixel and 48 megapixel. So of course the first thing you're gonna think of is, well, 48 megapixel is way better, isn't it?
but
But
not on the last mini.
Well,
On the
no, but
last
I'm
mini,
saying
you're
that's
also
48 was
making an
interpolated.
assumption. Is every hamburger you've eaten the equivalent to the same of every
well,
hamburger?
no, I'm not, but I'm just agreeing with you that not all 48 megapixel sensors are better than 20 and all of that, because you got to kind of figure out how
Yeah.
it's made and who
Yeah.
makes it and
Yeah.
all of
What
that kind of stuff.
technology do they use?
Exactly.
And also,
Trickery.
most importantly, what piece of lens is in front of it?
Yep.
Because you put a greatest sensor in the world, you take a Leica camera and put a crappy Yashica lens or third-party lens, it's going to look like garbage. So the image you get is a combination of many things, primarily what you see and how you position your camera, your device, your drone.
Right. Right.
And then, is the sensor better? Is it newer technology? In the Mini 4 Pro's case, yes, it is. How about the lens in front of it? How about the processor in there that's processing this image as you're shooting? And then how the person interprets it and edits it. So all these things make a difference. But raw image is sharper in the greatest part of it in a Mini 4 Pro than it is in a Mavic 3, any of them. However, the lower the light gets, if you are really, really dark, rather than using technology to increase things, the bigger pixels on the Mavic 3 lens, on the Mavic 3 sensor rather, will give you a better native image in the dark with less noise. Again, that's not a big deal because everyone has noise reduction in their software, video and still, whether it's Topaz or Lightroom or Neo, Luminar Neo, it's not that big of a deal. But that if you natively out of the device at pitch black at night with just some lights, the Mavic 3 lenses will be better at night. And as soon as you've got anything past sunrise, you will have more clarity and more pixels and more information with the Mini 4 Pro. And please feel free. We put the two drones on top of each other like this. So we were shooting the same exact thing. And yeah, the field of view is a slightly different, but basically we did really intense testing. So
Cool.
Cool.
Out of my league, but cool.
well, all I'm saying is you don't have to buy a Mavic 3 to get great imagery. You can get great imagery out of a Mini 4 Pro.
Hey, I got a Mavic 3 Classic for sale. You interested?
No, thank you.
I'm
For
waiting
the
for the
reason
Mini 5.
I have an Air
that
2S for sale.
for the reason that the Mavic 4 will come out and it will be better. And
Yeah.
of all the Mavic 3s, the one that least interests me is the Classic because it only has one lens. I think what Paul was saying before, that parallax having some sort of telephoto, whether it's on an Air 3S or a Mavic 3 OG or a Mavic 3 Pro, that telephoto lens puts different perspective and it makes it more interesting. That great movement, as in every DJI video for their selling their drones, you'll see that.
Yeah, and I did. Ken mentioned the other day he has his Air 2S for sale, and I told him he could mention it during the show. What do you got with that kit? What was it again?
Oh God, the drone, of course. Two sets of DJI filters, two variable ND filters, a circular polarizer, four batteries, the RC, the DJI RC, not the RC2 or anything, but just the RC. Um, the RCN1 controller, and a couple of USB cords, and the original DJI case, and a case that I use for my daily stuff instead of the DJI case.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
I
Tell them
still
what
love
you
my
want
Air
for it.
2S. That's a great drone, man.
Yeah, I somebody's helping me out to maybe get an Air 3S. So if I can sell that, then I'm gonna upgrade.
Yeah, and
The way you're asking for it.
I think the Air 3S is a really it just follows suit too because they did the Air 2S, such a great drone, and I think the Air 3S really followed suit. And honestly, the Air 3S is I do want to get one. I feel like I really love my Mavic 3, but I think the last drone purchase that we'll get if
Yeah, right.
if they
Last
stop selling them in the US is going to be the Air 3S.
Last.
It is a really great
You're
drone.
gonna get
I
a
like
Neo.
Move
obstacle
to
avoidance
Australia
right
then.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, till next June when another one comes out.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is
you
going to
got
get a
that right.
Neo.
That's why I say that. But interesting enough, we'll see how that goes. Anyone else laugh when DJI? It's not DJI. When Skydio lost that bid. Anyone else get a kick out of that?
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
listen, I just want to take a second here to thank whoever was responsible for cutting them out there. I'm going to give you a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you.
What are you talking about, Skydio lost a bid? I didn't
Listen,
hear
you
that.
can listen. There's probably Skydio fans out there. More power to you. I don't hold it against you, but I am happy that Skydio lost that contract.
They lost
Wait,
a bid
wait,
to the military, the
explain
U.S.
it.
military.
Explain what happened.
Who'd
So
they lose it to?
Skydio was trying to bid for a government contract, and they lost to I forget the name of the company. Jeff, do you know the name?
It was not Skydio was the name of it.
Yeah, not Skydio. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it was Jeff Norman. I'll fly.
No, I do not manufacture drones. I simply use them as a tool.
Yeah.
So they
Well,
tried to do what?
They put in a bid for drones for the U.S. military, and they did not
Oh,
win,
oh,
even though they were
They
approved.
donated.
Another company did. Another
yeah.
company won.
who's the? Do we know who the other company is?
I can tell you in about 2 seconds.
Yeah, I believe it's an American company too, isn't it? It's an American
Um,
company.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Well,
It
I
was
mean, it
Go.
could be
It
like
was GoPro's.
French or Italian.
It was GoPro's Karma, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the
No,
deal
that's why
about?
Steel
Skydio
drones. Yeah,
lost. They
Red
tried
Cat and
using
Steel
that.
drones.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Red Cat and Teal.
Red
Yeah.
Cat, yeah.
I had never really heard of them either before, but I didn't care. I was just happy to hear it.
Red
Like
Cat
Jeff
sounds
said, not
familiar.
Yes.
Skydio.
The
Definitely.
reason you didn't hear of them is you don't buy those kind of drones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little pricey, are they?
They're not anything we would ever use. I don't plan on blowing anyone up in my lifetime.
Yeah, I
We don't. We
believe the
don't drop.
drones
We don't.
they're
We don't drop.
designing are drones designed for government applications, things that
They
the
use
government
satellite
needs.
and cell phone, not Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They
Um,
fly from Las
and,
Vegas to Iraq or Iran.
on a side note, do you guys ever hear of a company named Ring? They make cameras and other
Yeah.
things for your home. And
Just a
there's
little
a
bit.
Ring community where you can tell each other about seeing things. So, there's a car driving down the street, very noisy, and it's usually full with BS. And today it was, there's a drone on its way to Comstock High School.
Hey,
So,
Gray.
like, I went, yes, they're legal. So, people
How
are
do they know where
ridiculous,
it's going?
huh?
Exactly.
How
How
do
do they
they
know where
know
it's going?
where it's going?
Because they live near the high school and it was going towards the high school. And then some other coconut said, could be a military drone. You better not do anything. What are you going to do? Anything? I mean,
Or they could just be looking at the
Well,
stream on the other side of the high
oh
school.
my God.
I get text messages like they had homecoming, and it's like, is that your drone? I'm like, I'm at home drinking heavily. It's not my drone.
Maybe it was.
It might have been. I don't know.
I have a
Autonomous.
question, by the way. I see our Recovery One drones in the house. Dre's in the house. Dre released a video, and he was showing how they had paved over one of his geolocation markers. I think for his what's the system there for navigation with
Black
drones?
Cat.
Um,
The RTK.
yeah, the RTK. Now,
They
what are
blacktopped
they?
over it.
What happens when they have to pave it over? Is there a protocol? Are they supposed to let you know so you can put another one there, or do you just show up and now it's gone? You got to redo it. I mean, how does that work?
What
Because
do you think?
That's crazy.
I'm gonna guess he's gonna just have to put another one in, but it would be nice to know that they could fix it so that way.
Well, he might answer us in a second.
Get out there with a shovel and just dig it back up.
Yeah, just dig it back
Yeah,
up.
yeah. When it's paved over, you go.
Create a pothole.
Yeah.
Well, if it's
Welcome
paved over,
to
you don't
Illinois.
know exactly where it is
No, I know. I'm just kidding.
because you're dealing with centimeters. I think. I don't
Yeah.
know how.
Well, no matter what
Maybe
he does,
decimeters.
I can't imagine having to deal with that kind of stress of putting down your markers, and you just got to take a moment and have a cup of coffee. So let's give away a coffee, buddy. Hashtag USDS in the chat for your chance
Good
to win
segue.
Pro Society coffee mug. Got to start my timer this time.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Now I got to log in again. No, I'm still there.
Oh. Yeah, so I am definitely curious about that. Oh, Bud will be back. So, Dominic, how was the test? Was it difficult?
I wouldn't say it was that difficult. It was just remembering a lot of terms, a lot of measurements, being able to read VTC, VNC charts, the differences between the VTC, VNC, and WMC charts, and the size of each, basically. And all, it was all the acronyms. You've just got to remember all the acronyms and all the measurements.
What about weather maps? Did you have to do a bunch of weather maps and stuff?
That's what they are.
Oh, okay.
VTC and the VTC, VNC, and will meteorolog that word charts.
No, I think that's Margie. Margie's in the house. How you doing, Margie? And Michael, cool cat's in the house. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm having a bit of a meltdown over that word there. So, yeah, it was just basically knowing the acronyms, knowing how to read all the charts, and
I thought about getting one. I thought about getting my 107, but I'm damn near 70. I've had a career. I'd like just flying for fun. And now that I know focal length and all that good crap, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
15 seconds left. Now's your chance, everybody. Hashtag USDS in the chat.
Well, just in the background, there won't be a test afterward, right?
No, I don't think so. 15 participants. Good luck, everybody.
And away we go.
And away we go.
Drum roll.
Drum roll, please. Congratulations.
All right.
Whoa, did we lose some people here? It looks like we did.
Yep. That stupid thing when you ran the contest that knocks people out.
Huh, I wonder why.
But you don't. You hit escape and you won't get knocked out.
Oh, well, now you
But it says
I asked if you had to do that.
if you follow the instructions on the screen, you're out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes
Okay,
time.
see you, Jeff. Bye. I gotta go. I'm out.
Seriously?
No.
Oh. I was gonna help you out.
Bud can't leave tonight. He's co-host. Bud's with us.
Yeah, I'm a co-host.
He's
Can't
going
leave
to,
and you can't
he's going
fall
to find
down.
some silos.
I even dressed up.
Well, I'm glad because I don't want to see you dressed down.
Oh yeah, who was it?
No one wants to see that.
25. We got to do clothing optional. Somebody posted that.
Yeah. Oh, I will say that out of all of the episodes of the USDS show, Bud so far has had the funniest moment, hands down.
Oh
no.
Hands down, the funniest moment ever, and I know that that will not be beat. I really don't think it will. Because the timing was too perfect. It was perfect.
What was it? Refresh our memory.
Let's say hi to Bud Bieber, and as soon as we go say hi to him, boom, he's gone. He's gone.
You're not going to play the video?
When he fell off the chair?
I don't have it here, but I will. I'll make sure to pay
that beautiful beam
that. That was great.
I might have been at the bar earlier.
Steve, I think you've already sent me your address before, but if you want to send it to me
always
in
this
Messenger, either way, great, that'll work. Oh, and yeah, there we go with Jim's picture. Yeah, that was
That's a classic.
The second funniest when you sent me the landing pad and it scared the shit out of me when I opened it.
Yep.
You know, Bud, there's supposed to be 8 hours between when you drink and when you fly your drone. You know that.
Bottle the throttle.
Bottle the throttle.
You're still
8 hours.
looking
Yeah,
for
I got a couple of inches, Jeff.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, man.
8 hours.
So, listen, we've got a few minutes left, so I want to give everyone a chance to say what they want to say and promote what they want to promote. I just want to remind everybody that we have 2 episodes left of the USDS live show. The show will continue. We'll have a live show every Sunday, but it's going to be something different. So after the USDS show concludes in December, we're going to go on hiatus until January, and I'm going to have the new show in January. New year, new show. And but I'll get to you in just a second. Just one more reminder is that I'm going to post all the information for the contest tomorrow and tag everybody in it. If you don't like the at everyone tag, just you can disable it in your settings. Don't be mad. Don't have to leave the group, and just you
Just
can
ignore it.
disable them. But it's a great way to get in touch with you guys and let you know what we got going on there, because Facebook is horrible at getting information
Yeah.
to your
Yes.
people out there. So
Yep.
yeah, with that, Bud, go ahead. What did you want to say?
Well, my question about the contest is, you want us to mention people that have inspired us, if you will,
Yeah,
in our
nurture, man.
in our drone career. Um, are we allowed to like steal some of their videos and put that in, or just you want audio or a vlog of comments?
Whatever works.
Okay, first I want to say thank you so much, Margie. I appreciate it for the donation.
Wow.
And no, I don't want us to steal anybody's work. You could always, if you're going to show some of their content, you could always ask them.
Okay. Okay.
Um, and you could just be transparent and say, "Listen, this is the contest, and I want to, you've inspired me, and I want to share something." That's always possible.
Just give
But
them credit.
you can
Okay.
the video doesn't have to be necessarily a drone video. You can get on camera. But the
Okay.
thing is, you're gonna edit a video, and we'll show them, and we'll have a contest to see who thinks they made the best, tribute video. So there's a little bit of a challenge there for people. But more importantly, is just have fun doing it, because I want to kind of uh, end the USDS live show, showing the difference that it made for people, the people that have inspired you and got you out there creating. I know, like Bud, you said there's so many people out there giving you every day to go out there and get
Yep.
those photos and videos. That's the goal. So
Yep.
don't worry,
Every
everybody's
time
going
I
to be a
look on the
winner.
page,
Yeah,
That's right.
everybody's gonna be a winner, and I'm excited to share the wealth of the DJI gift that I'm gonna get. So that'll be great. So yeah, with that, we'll let Jim take the floor.
so the only thing I have to say today is keep your house clean, because when you drop that tiny little itty bitty teeny weeny SD card and you can't find the damn thing, and you actually had some good stuff on it, yeah, kind of sucks. Now I'm down a card. I looked and looked, can't find it. Anyway, keep flying, keep taking the videos and pictures, and keep sending them in.
All right, thank you so much, Jim. I appreciate having you with us here tonight, brother.
I accept donations of SD cards, by the way.
Yeah,
I have some really old, slow ones.
yeah, there you go.
No, I don't need those. I got enough of them.
All right, Jim, have a great week. And listen,
Bye,
Jim,
guys.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
say it out right now before we end the show tonight. You have always said through this entire 2 years of the USDS show that you're going to edit a video. You're going to edit a video. Listen, I am expecting
Well, I
and
have, but they all
hoping.
suck.
I am hoping that you put together a video for the
Finally.
final contest. Give me your
Finally.
word. Give me your
Oh,
word.
Jim, you're
I will do
on.
something.
Yeah.
It's not going to be blockbuster. It's not going to be spectacular. It's
Nope.
not going to be ground busting.
Nope. Just be
Groundbreaking.
inspired, brother. Just
Nothing.
be inspired. Yep.
You all inspire me so much. I can't even try and edit to come close to what all you guys put out,
Yeah.
and that's a God's honest truth. So,
Thank
my
you.
hats off to all of you, and I will catch you next week or sooner.
All right, Jim. Thank you so much, brother.
Bye, guys.
Peace. And Lisa.
Hey, just want to say hi. It's been fun with your channel. Looking forward to see what you come up with in January. Want to remind everybody, be aware of your mental health. I have anxiety, so if anybody needs to call, just give me a shout out. I'm a good listener.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lisa. I appreciate you joining us tonight.
Yep.
Glad to have you here, and yeah, we'll hopefully you join us here with us next week too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. All right, Lisa. Have a great week.
You too, love. I'm outie.
Bye. And Jeff, I want to say, by the way, before you say what you say, promote what you want to promote. I really appreciate your input tonight. I think your testing. I enjoyed hearing about it when you told me about it originally, and I think your input was very valid and really helpful tonight. So
Yeah,
thank you.
good stuff.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, sometimes you get caught in the weeds, as that comment was, but I think in any whatever we're talking about in any field, you need to have common language so you can talk to each other. And the clearer you are, the better you'll be able to share what you can share. So I hope I am not, as Bud said, I'm glad he understood. And I hope it wasn't too technical and too boring. But yeah, I mean, what you like is that parallax is a great, you know, drones are used in so many places, and that's one of the things they use. By the way, I'm watching the Sunday Night Football on NBC, and at the end of the last segment was a drone shot over one of the piers, and at the beginning of the segment, right afterwards, they have some sort of FPV drone flying inside a food court, sort of like Faneuil Hall, Quincy Market.
Cool.
So we're all over the place. Keep shooting what you're shooting. Let's hope we will not all be grounded due to some stupid person's actions, and take care of each other. And remember, in Thanksgiving, take it slowly because the stuff in the turkey will put you right to sleep. So take it slow during the day. And thank you so much for having me. And thanks again for that card that I won, that card holder that I won for my SD cards.
Ah, yeah, yeah, SD card
And
holder.
what Jim said, back in the day when I first started using computers and designing books, the phrase was, he who dies with the most fonts wins. At this point, it's he who dies with the most SD cards wins. So
I think Jim needs one.
they're all in rotation, believe it or not. I'm
Yeah,
shooting a regular video job tomorrow, and I'll be using two. So
yeah. And with most things in life, Jeff, the first step is admitting you have a problem, brother. You'll get there. You'll get there. All right, Jeff. Have a
thank you.
great week, brother. I
You
appreciate
too.
having you here.
Thanks.
And Ken.
Haven't flown much this week. Weather's been kind of weird, so but piggyback onto something that Jim had said about the SD cards. But I know a lot of you has had this happen, where you're using your fingernail to push the SD card in, and of course there's the spring, but then your finger kind of moves a little bit, and then your SD card goes shooting across the room. I actually lost one behind my TV. It's probably still there. I'm not sure, but um, the other thing is yeah, if you think you're interested in my Air 2S, hit me up on Facebook, and we'll talk. Um, and this is the time of the year to really focus on mental health because of Thanksgiving, Christmas, and all of that. So, reach out to people that you haven't talked to in a while, like Paul's always said, especially during the holidays, and just take care of each other. Um, Fly, inspire, and we'll see you next week.
All right, Ken. Thank you so much. Great words of advice. I appreciate that. I hope you have a great week.
You two guys.
And Jeff.
Well, I haven't done any flying because it's been rainy all week for me.
Ugh.
Yeah, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, but I'm going to get out there as soon as I can on a halfway decent day. But I just enjoy being here and hearing all this stuff. I know the stuff about the nest just went right over my head. But hey, I'll learn eventually.
Yeah, yep, and that's great. And I appreciate having you here. And that's the thing, even if because it was new to me too. I've only learned a little bit, scratch the surface. So there's still a lot to learn. But you were here for it, and next time you have that conversation, you're that much more prepared for it, and it'll come to you. Or it's just information you won't ever need, but it's fun just to be part of the conversation and to, maybe learn something. So I appreciate having you here, Jeff. Thank you so much.
Have a good one.
You too. Have a great week. All right, I give the floor to you, bud.
Okay, it's been crappy weather, so I did post two videos today. The guy that's been painting the silos behind me got them done. They look really nice, contrary to the lady that lives up the street from me. Um, Great show tonight. I mean, I'm going information overload, but thanks to Jeff Norman, now I got to pull out my camera and go check some things out. Um, and I'm going to do a comparison between my 3 Classic and my Mini 4 Pro K or whatever it's called. But again, Paul, thank you so much for having me in. It's been a blast. I got ideas for the year end, whatever you're calling it.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I'm looking forward to see what you do. With that, go with Dominic.
Ah, well, happy Thanksgiving to the other people because we don't celebrate it down here. We've had a couple of days where it was 99 degrees Fahrenheit, and now it's probably 60 degrees Fahrenheit, and the cloud base is at about 200 feet. So it's pretty low lying mist at the moment. It's going to be a fun day.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate having you here, and I want to congratulate you again. I just found out about that today.
Yes.
Your testing. So congratulations.
Yep.
Do you
Great
have more
job.
testing? Do you have to do now for more? Or is that a good? That's a really good first
Oh,
step, right?
yeah. There's one level I've paid for, but I've just got to be tested for, which is the aeronautical radio operator certificate. I've already paid for that. I'm just waiting to be tested on it. And the next one up is the remote owner certificate, which means I can actually employ pilots. But that's
Yeah.
cost dollars.
Well, congratulations. You're going to do great.
Yeah. Good job, Dom.
With that, I'm going to take the floor. I want to remind everybody, especially now, we have a holiday season coming up. We have Thanksgiving, coming out this week. So I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, and I hope that you have family or friends to be around, and maybe other people around to maybe feel inspired and get those holiday shots that everyone looks forward to. Most important is deal with your mental health. I've had a rough time recently. My mental health has even put me in the hospital. So. It's really important that if you need help, reach out and get it. Reach out to your local community, your friends, family, wherever you can get help. Reach out and get help. Don't do it alone, especially the holiday season. This can be the worst time of year for people who deal with mental health issues. And there's always people out there that you can talk to. I appreciate everybody coming here tonight. I'm really looking forward to seeing what we do here for this contest. All the information will be there tomorrow.
Oh,
So go ahead, bud.
are we going to do community corner again?
Yeah, we'll still do community corner. Next week, I have a theme. I think next week I want to kind of give a little bit of tribute to the moderators in the United States Drone Society, who've really done a standout job throughout this past 2 years, and I kind of
No,
want to.
no, the video community
Yeah,
corner.
yeah, yeah. We'll still do community corner, and we'll probably discuss more about the contest. But all that information will be available to everybody tomorrow. So stay tuned. I'll make sure to tag you. And with that, everybody have a great, great week.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
So, what do you call it when Batman skips church?
What?
A Christian Bale.
I stayed around for that.
This is why the show is ending right here.
Yeah.